What is up, everybody? Thank you for making it to the stream today. I see some of you coming in right now. It's really good to have you guys here. And this is a stream unlike any stream that anyone had been putting on for probably the last 5 or so months. I think this is like a kind of a party stream, but you know, we got to keep it level. We got to keep it level, guys. Don't go one way or the other. Just kind of stay in the middle, be smart, do your own research, tie your own shoes. And yeah, man, let's just dive right into it, okay? All right, so today we got our 5 Top Shot Tandies, Top Shot topics. If you were here last week, this didn't work, and now it's working, so that's something to celebrate. So first off, we got our Soho Lounge Cool Cats, and we actually have a 9 Lives Lounge member in here that's going to come in later, at least one, Dream Shaker. But if you saw this announcement the other day, I don't know if you were like me, but your mind was just absolutely blown. I mean, we had heard about Jacob and team kind of telling us, like, just wait, it's coming, just wait, it's coming. And, you know, like month after month after month. And there were a lot of bag holders. Don't get me wrong. There are people who spent thousands of dollars to get these cool cats. And I'd say they over-delivered in a big way when you read that email yesterday. I mean, just look at all this stuff. You got your 3 packs, that's fun. You got your Zoom calls with an NBA player. You get to talk to the people in Top Shot, the brass of Top Shot. You get to give them your ideas. You get to pick their brain. You get to ask them their favorite Chinese food. You get to get in the private Discord, which is tokened. You get to get a daily NBA jersey raffle that's signed by NBA players. You got your merch, which I don't care too much about. You got your access to future Dapper products. And to me, actually, that's the one I feel most FOMO over. When they release that UFC product and even that Dr. Seuss product and whatever NFL product and whatever else is coming down the line, I want to be one of those people who gets access to that. I mean, to me, that's like huge. That was the biggest one that blew my mind. And then you also get this NFT physical display, so you can watch Zion dunk 1,000 times on your desk. You know, each their own. But all those things are super cool. And I'm excited for everyone who aped in and who did this, because it was a huge show of faith in the platform, and now they're getting rewarded. And I don't think it's a coincidence that we're seeing the market spike because of this. There's other reasons too, like this one. Don't stop believing, right? The market's going crazy. So I talked about this last week, but first off, big reason. And if you watch my videos, the Believers bot that Girl Dad created with his intern, your mom, or something like that. They created this thing, and the way that they price everything out in Ethereum is like the smartest thing I've ever seen. And all these people now, you know, for a while, people are like, these profile picture NFT avatars, it's a little too frothy for me. I'm not feeling so hot about this. Then all of a sudden, Top Shot super over executes with this Cool Cat utility thing. on top of all the other utility that they're doing recently with the Summer League and with you get to like Zoom NBA players in their pajamas and play video games with them, that one, another player con, and like other stuff that's coming down the line. And, you know, it all just came and made this perfect scenario. And what I talked about last week, though, was like, guys, Top Shot, if we're going to talk about the charts, let's talk about the charts. Let's do one. Let's do it. Let's talk about the charts. Let's not talk about the charts now. And then in a couple months, we don't talk about the charts. Like, it's okay. Let's just lay it all on the table. This is transparent. We're all adults here. Let's talk about the charts. We all like talking about the charts, do we not? But, you know, if I'm going to have any critical takes at all today, it's going to be hard, but I'm going to try to dig for some. But, you know, the point that Steve made, and if you're not following him, you should be, is something that I talked about in my video as well, which is obvious, which is this is not from new users. This is from existing users. So, you know, take that information as you will. But at the same time, this pump is very different. And my buddy Ben, who's in the chat, he made a video about this, which is just like, and I think LG also, and a bunch of people are kind of getting onto this message, which is this pump is very different, or not pump. Patrick Ewing doesn't want you to call it a pump. This trend reversal is very different than from what it was previously, because previously there was no accessible floor, and now there is. So this is very, very different than the previous one. So again, take it as you want. You can go and buy a couple moments if you feel like it, but again, that is not financial advice. Where's my not financial advice robot?
Not financial advice.
Okay, thank you. It's not financial advice. Okay, guys, not financial advice. But yeah, I mean, here's another hot take, right? Well, this guy, okay, well, that guy's cursing. I didn't block it out. But this guy, for example, this was fun. This morning, this guy was talking out, telling LG of the first mint that he only talks about Top Shot when it's doing well. And this is the first time I saw LG swear in a tweet. So you know the LG's blood is boiling under that Canadian tuxedo. So, you know, it's a good time. There's a lot of emotion. People are feeling good right now. And that's something to celebrate. Next, we got our $1 million moments. The limit was raised from 250,000 to 1 million for any particular moment. So you're seeing people list these like LeBron James hollows and such for $1 million. They also upped the crypto deposit limit for $500,000. So girl dad, you can deposit $500,000 now. I think that's probably just for you. But that is pretty cool. And it's good because when these large whales come and bring all their buckets of Ethereum over to Top Shot, they're going to want to be able to dump a whole lot of it and buy a whole lot of it. And now they can. But something that Top Shot Talk mentioned earlier is that because there's now $1 million floor listings on some of these LeBron moments, for example, the market cap of Top Shot has then taken a little spike because of that. So just understand like what's going on in the back end so you can be as educated as possible. And here's an example. Those two LeBron James are now listed at $1 million each. So that's a $750,000 bounce up for those two moments, right? Vegas, we talked about this also this week. You know, this is going to be really interesting. I want to hear what my guests have to say about this today. The fandom tier. Jacob was on the Ballers Blockchain podcast the other day, and he was talking about it as well, saying that it would be related to other moments that we've already had already that were uncommon base moments, could also be in this fandom tier. I think it's interesting, but like I said in my video this week, I'm most excited just about this utility. I mean, we know that this is just going to continue. This is just going to keep going, getting bigger. And like I saw that tweet today from Top Shot saying like, come to kiosk 111 to grab your pack. And it's like, whoa, it's really happening. Like, finally, no longer just the undercutters on our moments on Top Shot. So I don't know if this is a huge deal, but now we no longer see just the low ask. We also see in little letters, but there nonetheless, our average sale. I think it's rolling over a week, I think. What I find kind of interesting about this though, is it's almost like a miniature, evaluate market in a way, like a cheat sheet evaluate market on the moment itself. So you can see that the Jokic is up, the Porzingis is sideways, the Levine is down. And that can maybe help you make decisions as well. You can see what moments are kind of on the uptrend and which ones are not. So I think that does it for that one. I hope you enjoyed that little intro. And I hope you enjoyed our music today. That was really kindly given by a very well-known hip-hop producer named Static Selecta. So before I bring on my guests, let me just see what they're telling me in the back end. Okay, everything's doing just fine. Okay, so without further ado, I'm really excited to bring on my guests today. One of them, I believe, is sleeping, but let's start it off with Dream Shaker. So let me get this little thing up here. Dream Shaker, I'm going to add you in now. And Dream was on last week. He was talking about the NBA. He was talking about that kind of stuff with Mike of the Anywhere. And Dream Shaker, he's got this project, Boards to Buckets. It's a really interesting thing he's trying to do, actually. Like, if you've ever listened to podcasts, I know I do. I listen to a podcast with just meant for Celtics fans in a way. And what Dream Shaker's doing is he's kind of like taking that idea and turning it on its head, where he's making the stream or the podcast and bringing all the people in together so that we can like interact kind of like we're doing now. So that's at Boards to Buckets. And hello, Dream. How are you doing today?
Doing well, man. Excited. We're going to keep ourselves level-headed here. I know that's the intention of your channel, and I will do my best to channel all that positive energy into hopefully giving an outlook to everybody and seeing what's maybe coming forward. So excited to be here with you, man. Thanks for having me.
All right. Very cool. Whoops, there we go. So that's Dream Shaker. And next, let's introduce JTC. JTC, let me get your little thing up here.
What's up?
I keep on pressing the wrong button. Here we go. There's JTC. Something cool about JTC. Hey, JTC. He's going to be on NFT today with Dr. Jeremy. How'd that go?
Do it.
JTC?
Let's do it. I thought the interview went well. Kind of nervous just to listen to my own voice. Always cringeworthy. But should be a good time. I'm happy to be a guest of his. He has a lot of massive guests. So I'm just a little small fish.
Well, that's great. I mean, that takes all fish to make an ocean. And finally, let's get our buddy Matt in here. There's Matt. Hey, Matt. Nice to have you on. Matt is the Super Bowl. Matt has, during the ups and downs of Top Shot, there's almost nobody more bullish than Matt. So, Matt, I'm really happy to have you. I believe this is your first time on a stream, so yeah. I'm happy that you could make it my stream. How are you doing today?
I'm good, bro. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. This is my first stream ever, so I'm happy that you'll be my first one. And hopefully I make proud and Top Shot proud too.
All right. And Matt's going to do something fun. He's going to put some moments in his shopping bag later, and we are going to ask the chat who Matt should purchase. So that will be fun.
Oh, yeah. Help me out.
All right. Yeah, exactly. You got to help this guy out. He needs your help. So let's get right into it. Let's see here. So chat, yeah, here we go. Let's do this. First of all, I think it's only right that with all this upward trending going on with Top Shot, that we just kind of let loose for a little bit and like do a little dance. That was actually footage from the Nine Lives Lounge. That's what I'm hearing. So what I want to talk to you guys all about today is this upward trend. Like, let's talk about it, guys. So I'm going to add you all back in here and talk to me about this upward trend, or this P word, this pump. What do you think about this? We'll start with you, Dream.
Yeah, so one of the things that we shared today in private discussions is I think it's important to recognize, as you've mentioned several times before today, and people like Steve were more or less reinferring the fact that this is very much a case of, us diehard collectors kind of waiting for the first signs of life to just hop back in. And that's great. Don't get me wrong. We're all happy about it. But in terms of the new unique, or the new collectors coming into the space, that hasn't necessarily happened yet. So to me, on the one hand, when I look at this, the first thing that got flagged to my mind was fatigue was real. So for those of us out there who are on the grind every day on moment ranks, live tokens, sniping moments left and right, trying to figure out, just the market dynamics, and then for it to have cratered and for us to suddenly lose that willpower, I think the fatigue is one thing that we all certainly have to keep in mind. And so right now, everybody's back to, off-season mode and NBA free agency and, with Rakeback coming in and Rib, I think that the momentum can carry forward, but I would also, caution those out there that if there is fatigue, at least keep that in mind when you're collecting, that we don't know how long this can last for. And when the new collectors come in, that's your sign maybe that more long-term wise, that momentum can spread out. So that's my basic take for right now.
And how do you think it's going to be clear, or how will you be keeping an eye on when the new collectors have made their way into the platform?
Yeah, so for me, like you said, follow Steve, follow Top Shot Tandy. He's going to go and be the first one to go and tell us when there's market trends out there, and he's a great aggregator of information.
Top Shot Talk.
And Top Shot Talk, yeah, of course. It goes without saying, he's the one who really helped me in my collector journey. I'm now, very good account holder, but it was really with his tips that I was able to jump forth. But yes, I, follow those main accounts, and they are really on top of it. So you can look at all sorts of metrics every day, but if we're being realistic, I'm just out here sniping moments. And so I'm waiting for these guys to kind of aggregate the information themselves. Also, would bear in mind too, keep your eyes on the Girl Dad bot, which we will talk about at some point. But when you start to recognize new names on there, and if you start to follow those trends, that's also one way too, if you really are on top of the bot behavior, which I am not, but you could do that as well.
What about you, JTC? I remember when the bot first came out, you were not quite sure what all this bot behavior was about, but it sounds like, I'm imagining that over the past few days, you may have come around a bit.
Yeah, it's hard not to have come around on all of this. Yeah, like you said, when it first came out, I kind of had a little skeptical, just kind of, maybe it was February PTSD or whatever you want to call it, but I hadn't seen any new changes with Top Shot, so the initial pump that the bot created, just seemed a little unorganic to me. But man, I have to publicly apologize to Girl Dad and your mom and FT, because it was perfectly timed for one. I mean, it dropped, I think, the 30th, the night of the 30th, very late night. And as soon as it dropped, I had the notifications on. So I was seeing all these buys, and I was seeing all these same moments, buy, just going up. And I was like, man, this is really looks like a FOMO bot. It's going to be tough to hold back that FOMO like Dream Shaker was talking about. But ever since he dropped it, like every single day after that, it seems like there's been new news, and that's what I think has made it sustainable. And then he's tweaking it with the Ethereum pricing, and that in turn with the $500 crypto deposit or deposit limit. It's been an amazing week. So I'm not gonna be negative talking anything.
Yeah, for sure. And when you're looking at these people buying these moments, are either of you starting to dip your toes, or what is your buying strategy currently?
So I'll take this one first. So one interesting little thing that I caught yesterday when I was perusing Twitter was that there was a debate whether Girl Dad was really starting to see the big figure purchases come in, and he wanted to raise the minimum to being $1,000. And so somebody made the astute observation and point to say, hey, for a lot of first-time, people that are dropping $500, being on the bot is one way of, acknowledging that big purchase and being happy about it. And so Girl Dad basically reverted and said, yeah, say less. We're going to continue that. So definitely commend Girl Dad on making that very quick decision and taking in the community, people who feel very happy about, spending $500 as opposed to double the price, $1,000, basically gating certain community members from being happy about their purchase and publicly being out there for, I would assume most top shotters are going to be on, following that bot going down the road. So there's a certain acclaim that comes to making these purchases. So for me, that's one little dilemma that I looked at. I personally will not be engaging in the pump currently as we speak. We got packs coming out like Rib. As far as my collector score is concerned, I'm going to be basically slotted in very nicely. I did a lot of my purchasing before this whole pump happened. So I basically, and I know we shouldn't call it the pump, but yeah, we kind of knew in the NLL that this was kind of basically the bottom. We were always trying to suss that out a bit. And so my purchases were before and not so much now. And then I'll look more towards like fantasy and utility S3 when I start to make new purchases. But basically got everything that I own.
Yeah.
That I want to own.
And you, JTC, or are you feeling the same as Dream, or are you feeling different?
Kind of the same, but I have been participating. It obviously, since I had different views on it when it first started pumping, I kind of stayed on the sidelines for a little bit. But I did get a LaMelo Rising Stars, something that I think will hold value over time. So I'm not very concerned about any dips on that. I love the Rising Stars set, and I got it at a really good price. So that's one big purchase I made. Another thing I'm looking for is on these other moments that are gaining momentum, like you saw a ton of Luka selling, a ton of LeBron, Zion, the usual suspects. On those moments, I like to look at their bases to see if they've had similar momentum, and if not, I like to scoop up some of those cheaper like 15K moments or something like that. Like for example, I think it was 2 nights ago I picked up 5 or 6 Luka 15Ks, and then
Nice.
once his higher tier moments started to not die off, but stabilize a little bit, that's when you could see his lower price moments kind of go up a little bit because people kind of change their strategy, and the base moments seem to catch up later, in my opinion,
Yeah.
especially when you have these big sales going on, and with the crypto people coming back in and everything that's going on.
Yeah, for sure. And actually that's funny because back in like February, I remember I was keeping track of like certain players. So whenever something would happen in the market, like a couple people were like the canaries, and it was like Steph Curry and I don't know, Durant and like LeBron or something like that. They were the canaries in the coal mine. When those canaries started singing, you knew that the other players were like right around the corner. And I feel like it's almost like that now, but on a tier level where the canary's singing, like Luka's going up. So, all right, start looking at like the mid-tier Luka or maybe even the bottom tier Luka. But Jammers actually asked a good question, which is how do we ensure that these new or returning buyers don't end up leaving like they did before? What do you guys think about that? And Matt, I'll let you answer, Matt. If you're figuring out your phone back there, I can't tell. Hold on,
I think I'm
Matt. Are you good now? I've just seen you kind of struggling with that phone for about the last 5 minutes, but don't touch it.
I was. I'm not gonna touch it. I'm not gonna jinx it now.
But yeah, what do you think, Matt? What do you think about the people that came are coming back now? Do you think that those people might leave again and start undercutting each other? Like, how does Top Shot, the market, sustain itself when there's these undercutters that like to rear their ugly heads?
See, like, and I've talked to a lot of people about this in the last couple of weeks because a lot of people have different opinions on it. But I feel like there's two types of people in this marketplace right now. There's people that are here kind of for profits and for sales and like the NFT, like Ethereum people. And then there's the actual basketball fans that are actually here. I feel like those basketball fans that started because of basketball will not leave. They will stay no matter how much, if they buy big, if they buy small throughout their time, if they buy through the off season, because that's when they had time to buy stuff, or when they just buy throughout the year when they find something they like. But for the other people, the other side, and these are where all the hate's coming from, in my opinion, are the people that feel like they bought in to try to get a quick buck or get some money out of it. And now that they see that the marketplace isn't fluctuating in the way they want, it goes down, up, they sell out and they start complaining. And those are the ones that end up leaving, and they leave a bad taste in everyone else's mouth. And that's why I come in and I try to be positive and try to be nice about it, but then I get into all these arguments on the internet. So again, but in my opinion, I think that's how it goes.
I think you're right. I mean, the only thing that I would like challenge about that general notion, and I'm muting you other guys. So if you guys are going like keyboard crazy, mute yourself, please. But like the only thing I would say about that is that a lot of these new buyers are buyers who are looking to make a buck. I mean, there's definitely not only buyers here right now because they love the NBA. I mean, I think we'd be naive to think that. What do you guys think about that? Dream, I think you muted yourself, but go ahead, JTC.
I will say these crypto people that are coming back, I think the belief they have in the product is being underestimated a little bit, because these are the people you're seeing buying $20,000 moments, $30,000, $60,000 moments. So those aren't liquid moments, So that's not moments that they're buying just to flip. That's a sign of someone who's in it for the long term. That's my 2 cents on that, because it is very detrimental to us if they do leave, if they start dumping their moments, but I don't think that's something that they're looking to do when they buy moments of that magnitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So for me, kind of the NBA Top Shot has to be very, very, very careful, because let's all imagine when we came in February and March, when the prices were up. I know for me, it got a bit overwhelming to look at some of these moments as a team fan. And, I'm basically looking at these very expensive moments that I don't necessarily want to pay money for. I'm not at that collector level yet where I'm comfortable paying that kind of money and knowing about the utility. These are ideas that you can't really connect until you start applying more and more and buying more moments. So NBA Top Shot, there's always that supply issue. But for me, that's a very self-interested motivator. We talked about this collectors group, which we're all involved in, right? Really keeping the market up. For us, it serves our interests, for NBA, Top Shot, not to produce all these moments, but it could also gate out newcomers from coming in. And that's bad for us overall, because we don't want to just be trading amongst each other and transacting amongst each other. We want to create opportunity costs for newcomers, and for us to also be able to level up as well. So I think that they have to strike a good balance for supply and demand mechanics, and that starts with your pack openings, and that's really the initial collector experience and activation. And then from there, you got to be really careful. We've been talking today in the NLL. That was one of our big things about the rib moments, the bottleneck moments. These are things that you kind of want to strike a balance. You don't want to upset the people who spent $20,000 on a Chris Bosh moment, and suddenly like their benefits for S1 like team bonuses are paling in comparison with the rest of the field as more rib moments come out. I have my different opinions with rib in that collection in general, but little by little, set by set, really NBA Top Shot's going to have to start creating activation, I think, within the sets themselves. And that's probably one way you go and avoid that is, more entry level sets to kind of help price wise these people. And when we talk about the playoff sets, that's kind of what that was for. It didn't really work out, but I think that's also a marketing thing as well that, you might want to talk about at some point down the road. But they're certainly trying to activate new users. So we'll see if they can strike that balance, because it's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy.
So tell me more about what you're saying about the marketing. What are you referring to in terms of like the new users and the marketing? Are you talking about like the mass marketing and like the NBA stadiums, things like that?
So I think in terms of activating new users, as far as Twitter is concerned, me being a purveyor of NBA Twitter before NBA Top Shot, and that's really, for instance, you have Heat Twitter, you have Clippers Nation. So you have all these little subset groups out there who I think for team fans, that's probably what you should do build-wise if you want to bring in a new dedicated user base with the right prices for collecting moments in those team sets. Now, with mass marketing and all that stuff, I think it becomes a lot harder to build that way. And we've seen NBA Top Shot try with Quavo and with, bringing in maybe like a Josh Hart and doing that kind of activation. It just seems very scattered to do that kind of methodology. And we haven't seen really the new influx of users yet because of those marketing strategies. I think that once S3 comes out and a whole new supply of moments come for S3, then you can start activating actual team fans specifically within the confines of NBA Twitter, since that seems to be where a lot of the engagement for NBA Top Shot I've seen manifest, as opposed to Facebook and Instagram, which they're trying to do, but I think it needs to be very tunnel focused on team fans. Kind of what Nardelli was saying earlier with his point.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think also when we look at like the chart, we want to see like a healthy growth. And in my mind, it's almost like if you see what they're doing in the summer league and they're doing this activation in this stadium, right? And you can almost imagine that they start going one stadium by one stadium by one stadium and sort of like organically grow among the NBA user base. I think that would really be awesome if they could do that. And Matt has dropped off again. Well, cool guys. So let's, go ahead, JTC. Let me unmute you. I think you were just clacking away at that keyboard a little too much. Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I did have one thing to say about the what Dream had said about being careful about the barrier of entry, for newer people and, maybe someone who's on the sidelines who hasn't participated yet and is wanting in on Top Shot. One thing I liked about the video that Ben Shavir had released is he said the
Shout
moments
out Ben Shavir.
Yeah.
Ben Shavar, actually.
B Shavar on Twitter.
Yep.
One thing that differentiates this momentum from the momentum we saw in February and March is that you can still buy $8 Zion, a $10 Luka, a $13 Luka, a $25 LeBron. That wasn't the case in February. In February, people were buying common LeBrons for $100, well, probably more than that, $300, something like that. I know. Shout out Jimbo. I know he has a bad Joel Embiid common story. But, you know, you can still get a Luka 12K playoff, $35. You know, these are great moments that are, you know, that people still have access to. So that's one difference that I wanted to address.
Yeah, I mean, I said that in the opening as well, and I think that that is a huge thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and Shavar is blowing up. He's got like 7,000 views on that video, and I think it's because of that. It's because he's making an excellent point, and I think that's like answering that big gray cloud of doubt, and he's just sitting there in his Golden State Warriors flat brim, telling you the way things are, and I think that's great. We got to see more of that from Ben Shavar. So maybe we should. I think we want to hear about what's going on in the Nine Lives Lounge. If there's anything interesting to share, Dream. But before we do that, let's just take a live look into that Nine Lives Lounge right now. Okay, there it is. It looks like you guys are still having a good time in there. That's good. I don't know what they're putting in those drinks, but Dream, tell me, like, you know, unveil it for us. You know, like Eyes Wide Shut, or you guys are all wearing those like big masks and stuff and the cloaks. Is that like what's going on in the Nine Lives Lounge, or what's it like over there?
You know, it's funny enough you mentioned that. Me and my fiance just rewatched that recently, so not quite like that, right? There's no public shaming of getting into the club, right? We're all very open. So, you know, to kind of give people the perspective that I personally have, there was a Nine Lives Lounge unofficial Discord, which a lot of us came from. And so for us, during this interim time, you kind of have two different sets of Cool Cats collectors, the ones who were in that group with us and the ones who were on the outside, maybe holding the bags and waiting to see what NBA Top Shot was doing before engaging with the community. So Nine Lives Lounge right now is just everybody pouring in together. It's a lot of positivity. Jacob popped in there this morning and he's just chatting up NBA in there. So it's pretty cool. You know, just great interaction between different people. The positivity is really flowing inside there and just the possibilities of different things that can happen. So it's a bit chaotic for me personally speaking. So even right now, I'm actually defaulting a bit more with the old Nine Lives Lounge, but you know, I'm still, you know, there at least watching the, you know, it's just a lot to keep up with for me right now. It's a bit overwhelming, but it is a lot of positivity, which you love to see in the community. So right now, it's just it's a good time. Everybody's happy. We'll see how things kind of pave their way forward, right? Because NBA Top Shot has promised a lot, but none of these things were surprising for a lot of us because NBA Top Shot said it. So for me, it's just kind of weird that they talked about more specifics and that just drove up the price tremendously. But these ideas were already mentioned months ago. It was just the timing that people were waiting on for this to manifest. And clearly NBA Top Shot had other priorities. And us within NBA Top Shot unofficial Discord, we've been keeping communication with Dumbo, who's now been promoted to a team community manager. So congratulations to him. Well deserved. But we've been basically talking with him back and forth about this, and he's been asking us what we want to see. So what you see today on that list that you showed earlier, Tandy, is the manifestation of what a lot of us have contributed in terms of what we want to see in this club. So there's more of that happening right now. We'll see kind of how things fare in the future with the set because it's very fresh and new.
And in terms of like what's to come, I'm guessing that's probably hasn't been clarified yet. Like, you know, you're talking to Roham on this day, or we're going to talk to you about this topic tomorrow, and we need all your input. I'm guessing that's probably not happening yet, but but that's what people are kind of expecting is about to happen. Would I be correct in that?
Yeah, so I think that for right now, yeah, it's just like a free-flowing conversation in the Nine Lives Lounge. Like I said, it's a lot to keep up with. It's like hundreds of messages, and right now it's actually about activating the Nine Lives Lounge members. So there are a few technical difficulties with Collabland, so that's really where the focus has been. But certainly, you know, at least Jacob's been talking about the fan experience today and kind of making us privy into the kind of experiences that we can expect in the future to happen. And Tandy, I think you made a phenomenal point earlier in terms of the fan experience also being a way to be able to bring in NBA fans from the arena. You know, and that's what we expect as Nine Lives Lounge members. It's interesting because certain people want different things on that sheet. So some people can care less about the NBA fan experience. They might not even be NBA fans, but Dapper products, you know, NBA or NFL coming into the picture in the future, that's what really keeps them going forward. So I think that's been the most interesting part for me is seeing kind of what things people like to check off their box here. But so thus far, no real details yet, but people are just kind of just showing off their happiness in one way or the other.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be really interesting to see I guess how they can just sort of like keep it streamlined, keep it going. I mean, I think that by doing these utilities sort of like one after another, it's almost like you got to keep putting that carrot in front of the horse. Like as long as they can do that, and I feel like they have enough people working behind the scenes, then I think it's going to be a good time. Yeah.
Well, I will mention one thing. So as far as the actual perk that's going to manifest from this, already concrete, not in any it's pure specifics, it would be I believe we're going to have our own queue for pack drops. So the probability is maybe not going to be the same as when we were getting priority queue access. So, that's something that is going to change for us. But that's actually what kept a lot of people doing Nine Lives Lounge up until the finale of S2. It was actually funny enough. There was somebody who was complaining because a lot of us had already qualified collector score wise for priority access in the queues. So when we were given S2 automatic access, it was like, okay, but we already had it. One guy, in fact, in our group was just talking about, I didn't get any packs. I qualified for everything. This has been useless for me. Turns out that the guy actually qualifies for a legendary, gets his legendary pack. And, he's just like, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. That was utility. Because you kept complaining it was no utility. But the opportunity cost is what really we're talking about here. And I think that's going to be the kind of carrot that Top Shot can dangle. They don't necessarily have to always intertwine like these big announcements when you kind of have access to the packs in this way. So I think at the very least, that's going to keep a lot of people in. But funny enough, that guy actually sold his entire set on that day after fighting with us about no utility, gets his legendary moment, dips from it. And a lot of people did that actually. So if you can imagine them just kicking themselves now that they don't even, the priority access that Top Shot said we weren't going to have anymore scared people into selling off their stuff. But all they said was, okay, we're just going to reroute you to a different queue, different probabilities. And it's not like they couldn't have done that before. So it was just interesting to me that people hopped off right after that. So sorry.
So yeah, I mean, that's an interesting point you just made, though. Is that true that the Cool Cats will almost have like a priority above top priority right now for like what's that for summer season or season 3 or?
Well, I don't know if it's going to be. So I think priority is going to be priority. So I don't think that we're going to be above anybody at all. It's just going to be that for these 5,000 specific holders. I think we get our, own thing. So I have to double check this particular perk, but that's one that I remember like us talking about on there. So Jimbo's asking what are the number? I believe it's close to 3,000 people. It's like 2,700, 30 for 30 members. So yeah, that's about our priority. That's our probability that I guess we're going to work with, but who knows within the total confines. These things are changing over time, forever. But what Roham said was that these are going to be perks that we're going to have for the entirety of this, the platform. So in a lot of ways for us, it's just, this is a lifetime thing. So that's really what we're kind of banking on, is that we're going to always have things coming in as we have this access, like the Soho House. So.
Yeah, don't tempt me to share that video again. But yeah, that would excite me too. Like this idea that you can talk with Roham. Honestly, like when Roham talked with LG the other day, that to me was, he could basically read off like a McDonald's menu and I would be inspired. So this guy, like he's got like that. He's got it, and that's why like we need more of Roham. Honestly, that's not dragging anyone else down. That's not dragging Jacob down. He's great for what he does, but Roham just feels like the big brain in the room was like, we will be riding our robotic unicorns and trading top shots in Mars, and you'd be like, yes, we are, aren't we?
So yeah, Roham actually yesterday retweeted. I believe it was Packrit Media who went and said that NBATopShot was the third trending subject, I think, on Twitter or Google. I can't remember exactly, but Roham went and basically retweeted it. He's been, very much on the forefront of, NBATopShot is, different than CryptoPunks, BAYC, a lot of these other big NFT projects, which have been kind of taking the mantle throughout this interim time. So I think that's interesting. And also to that effect, somebody from the NLL, I didn't want to forget sharing this, but they were actually a newscaster for a local news station. And while they were live on the news station, they actually shouted out Nine Lives Lounge. He was like, Nine Lives Lounge, this goes out to you guys, or something like that to the effect. And so I think that's really funny now to start seeing a lot of these personalities kind of manifesting. Like we have a newscaster in here. We have this person from this different entity. And so I think that the more of us that are in conversations together with Roham, with Jacob. I think we're just testing out the limits here, because when you think about it, we shouldn't always just be depending on NBA Top Shot for everything that we're going to be getting. We can create our own value. We can create our own utility. And that's what a lot of people are starting to do and recognize now, us all being together. So I think it's real interesting. And Roham's a huge part of that.
That's actually kind of an interesting take, because I saw my buddy Mint Juice on Twitter. He just did one for Hustle and Show. He created his own like private Discord. I'm still trying to actually get my head around that, though. Like, if people are creating their own utility in their own Discords, and it's too bad Yuri is like in slumberland, because he could be telling us about his pool party Discord thing he's doing.
Team Stars one too now.
Yeah.
So tell me, like, what do you guys think about that? What is that? What do you think that utility is going to look like when it's coming from a user and not from Top Shot? JTC or Matt, you want to take this?
I'll go first.
Yeah,
I think it's genius. That's the Cool Cats were the first people to do that. The jersey that Dream Shaker's wearing, that's not from Top Shot. That's from Chugs and Bugs. That's from their Discord. They were the first to create their own utility, and I think that's very cool. And people are starting to catch on. Like, hey, we don't have to wait for Top Shot to do an official utility. Obviously, Top Shot's utility is going to be the one that pumps. Pumps our moments for being in that being a set holder of whatever set it is you have. But yeah, it's a very unique way to even show Top Shot, like, hey, we have this community here. We have this, Discord of all these people that are set holders. Let's go. Like, let's start this utility up. Because I do believe utility is going to be spread more to more set holders at more sets as time goes on. I had a great thread with Pack Rib this past week, because I was asking, hey, this is before the official lounge was announced, but I asked, hey, why do you think the Rising Stars LaMelo, which is 2021 mint count, is so much cheaper than the Cool Cats? I mean, obviously the Cool Cats had that baked in utility. Everyone was expecting to show up at any time. But I was still a little confused why it was just so much, and it was getting so much more volume than the Rising Stars. And Packer basically said, it's only, well, it was all speculation, but it's really only a matter of time before more sets get utility. I just feel like it's a slam dunk for Top Shot not to use these set holders and these different sets for different things. One example he brought up was, maybe the Rising Stars set holders get to go to the Rising Stars game on All-Star Weekend. That's part of utility. Maybe the Throwdown set holder can go to the dunk contest. Different things like that. And one thing he really emphasized in that thread and on that day altogether was, we need to start thinking ahead. I'm kind of hitting myself for not being in tune with Cool Cats before this week. But yeah, going forward, we need to be thinking ahead about these sets and about what we collect and what future utility it can bring, because we're really just at the tip of the iceberg right now.
Yeah, but that's not financial advice, right?
Not financial advice.
Not financial advice.
Right, not financial advice. Very good, man. Yeah, and I think you're right. I think it'd be so cool to see, like, like, for example, maybe like a reward player does something special for the set that you created, that you collected. So like, you get a John Morant signed, I don't know, sneakers or something, because you got that reward in Hustle and Show or something like that. I think that's definitely a possibility. Go ahead, Dream.
Yeah, so I just want to go out there and say, like, from the Cool Cats perspective, we are advocates for other groups creating their own utility like we did. So we have nothing against, like, other people sharing the pie and building a community around their own sets. That's good for NBA Top Shot, and it's good for us overall. And I really wish we would all take that perspective, because us as a group, we definitely hold that perspective. But certainly when Cool Cats, and still to this day, when Roham tweeted about, several Cool Cats things, people were just saying, oh, what about Hustle and Show? What about Seeing Stars? You have to remember two things. One is that this was a promise that was made from Top Shot to Cool Cats holders about this Master Set Challenge. This is something that was ironed out months ago, the only Master Challenge that was out there. So that's number one. Two, Cool Cats goes right into CryptoKitties, which is really the basis behind Flow blockchain, behind Roham even continuing just this trajectory into NBATopShot. CryptoKitties was the baby who started that. So it goes right into the cool cats. So Roham loves the cats. Makes sense that that's who's going to, Top Shot at the very least is going to create a community built on that. But really, the community was built with us in that core group of collectors, and we created our own utility with these cool cats jerseys. We have invested into other NFT projects. We have gone into challenges that us as individuals couldn't afford, but we could go into it partitioning pieces. So there's people who own like a piece of the Embiid Hollow. We've done so many things in this group to just create our own utility that I hope that these other set holders can accomplish that. But one difference that I will say in terms of the community that we built for ourselves versus the one that NBATopShot built for the rest of us is that for that core group set of holders that, we were really just picking each other up throughout this time. It was tough. So what holds that group together is our strength, our brotherhood, our bonds of just the hardship of holding that set throughout this time. I think it's a little different when you ride the Cool Cat set versus other sets because of how much money went into it, how long we had to wait in order for these things to manifest into reality. It was tough. But without us having had that community to go and lean on one another, I'm not even sure I'd be in here talking with you guys about this. And the, jerseys are a big motivator, but really it was just about our brotherhood through hardship that really just brought things together. And so I think that macro-wise, you can start building a lot of communities with that sentiment in mind, but it's never going to be at the scale that Cool Cats was. And that's my own personal opinion, but we're all very happy that other groups are out there doing that. So good luck.
Yeah, I think you make a good point, and I think they obviously respect the people that put so much faith into their platform, and there's no other set that truly rode the roller coaster of Top Shot like Cool Cats did. So that makes it quite unique. Matt, did you want to share something?
Well,
Oh, and he's gone. All right, Matt. Well, when you figure out that internet, you can come back. Yeah, very good, guys. I think it's exciting. It's exciting times. It's exciting, definitely exciting for people who are in the Nine Lives Lounge. I'm surprised to hear that it's like so overloaded, Dream, that you can't even like keep track of it. I think you're muted.
Oh, this is more of a specific thing for my own personal sake because it's Sunday and it's the weekend when this thing really popped off. So weekends for me are typically bad, but I can see myself just hanging out in the Nine Lives Lounge, waiting to see when things pop off. And I expect that in a lot of ways, the time constraints that I have, like I'll know from other Cool Cats members whether things are popping off in the actual channel itself. So really, it's just one funnel for us as a community to be able to have access to the general population. But like I said, for those of us who are just diehard Cool Cats people, that were in this unofficial community. I mean, that's really where, like, if you really think about it, that's about 1,000 to 2,000, like almost like, close to half, I'd say, of the total collectors. So imagine that you take 500 of them out because they don't have that brotherhood. They don't have that utility. Basically, Top Shot was unexistent in the conversation for 3 months. The ideas were there, but no manifestation. So those 500 get removed from that set, and we could have seen prices plummet a lot more. Maybe Top Shot would have had to accelerate the process to keep the price up. I really can't go but thank Plunge Father, Bakra Party, and Chugs for being really the three guys to help mobilize this community. But in the end, it was the hardship that really brought us together and had us just trying to figure out, okay, how do we cover our losses? And in a lot of ways we have in other projects and other things. So I can't thank them enough because they really did give me my only Discord home, my full Discord home. It's so hard to find out there for Top Shotters. So that's why I encourage you guys out there to create sets, Discord sets, rib, collectors, whatever you need to do to just band together the people that you enjoy collecting with. Just do that. You will find your own utility. Tandy, in fact, this is you creating your own utility. You bringing us together, us creating a community here. So the more you guys do that and take a step out, maybe we'll start to see people blame Top Shot a lot less because I don't think that they get the credit that they deserve. It's just it really is a lot up to us to be able to do this. So, and they will reward you, I think, in the end. So we'll see.
Right. And you guys have anything to say about that, Matt? Super Bowl. You figure out your internet over there, Matt. You got to pay that AT&T bill. You can't just there he's gone again. You see what I mean? That AT&T bill comes, you pay it. You don't use it as a coaster and then forget about it. Let that be a lesson. JTC, you have any insight on that? You want to finish that idea about utility? I think I muted you.
Yeah, first off, you got to stop saying Matt's name. I think that's what knocks his internet off every time. But yeah, no, just what I said before about, following the Cool Cats recipe, making their own utility, which we've seen a lot of starting this week, and I think it maybe started the week before. And even before then, people were saying, this. I saw Coach and a lot of people, Luca B, talking about seeing stars, and so now they have a Seeing Stars Discord, and who knows what's going to come out of that. So it's more about just, like I said, creating your own. I'm not an expert on how they did it, or I didn't really follow exactly how they did it in the beginning, but now that me and Dreamshaker are pretty good friends, and I've learned a lot from him, and I know he has a podcast coming out. So that at least one of the episodes is going to be talking about creating your own utility. Is that correct, Dreamshaker?
Yeah, so I'm working with NBATopShot right now. I don't think this is going to be like a secret for much longer, but what started as just an episode about my own collector experience has turned into a podcast series about the 9 Lives Lounge people and how we've created our own utility. And that's for us, again, to let people know about these people who, the personalities behind closed doors, and about how we've created our own utility. For instance, you'll hear from Chugs about, how these jerseys manifested from we were sitting there on the ground floor when we were designing these things, like with the colorways. We have all sorts of really cool Vice colorways with the mascots, with the merch. That was all there pretty much at the beginning. So pretty incredible that you have people who aren't affiliated with Top Shot, who are just regular people like us, just able to band together and create this sort of stuff. So we're going to be out there just talking about the different personalities. For instance, one of my guys, OG, is 40 something, close to 50-year-old collector. He's got his own experience, does not understand NFTs beyond Top Shot. It's all very, I think it's going to enlighten different collectors and different experiences, because just because we're in Cool Cats doesn't mean we're not like the rest of you guys too. We all came from different areas. I myself would consider myself still a middle-class collector, and I'm just thankful that I have a Discord home. And so I encourage you guys that don't have one yet to go and create yourselves one as well with the people that you vibe with. So definitely we'll be shooting off that podcast on NFTopShot so that you guys can kind of enlighten yourselves with how we've been able to create our own utility. We haven't even scratched the surface on this stuff. We got a fantasy league coming out. We're working on our own potential NFT project. So we got some really cool things, coming up in the future. So this is just the start. And we're really just going to be leaning on the Cool Cats community at large to help kind of spell these things out to the community, because it's important that you guys know the personalities behind this stuff. We're not all bad guys here that are trying to rub our status in your face. We really would like for other communities out there to do well. So I'm all there with you guys.
Cool. Thanks, Dream. So I think that puts a good bow on it. I mean, if Matt was here, we could do his shopping spree, but I don't know if Matt's coming back from the Matrix. So if that's the case, then we could take a couple questions for a couple seconds, and then we could rip a pack.
We still have that Tatum as well.
Oh, that's true. We'll spin a Jason Tatum. We'll open Dream's pack. That'll be fun. Everybody likes unwrapping videos on YouTube. I know my 3-year-old does. And if Matt shows up, then we'll get him on here. Let me just see. I got my producer backstage. Are you able to get Matt on the stream right now?
No, sorry.
Oh, okay. So I guess Matt is not coming back apparently, but that's all good. Matt, if you can get it working, then come on back. So why don't we do some spinning? Well, I think Matt's coming back. I spoke too soon. All right, hold on. Should we get him on here and just have fun with him walking around his apartment? All right.
Let's see
so
if it works.
Is it the internet, or you have phone calls or something?
No, it's my internet, man. Freaking, I'm trying to walk around the whole house trying to see where the best connection is.
If you're on your phone, just turn the Wi-Fi off.
That's what I'm trying to do. I had it on what's it called? Had it on LT this whole time.
Okay.
Oh, well, I guess we can. I don't know if we should try it with Matt. Honestly, I'm starting to think we shouldn't. so
why don't LTE this whole time and it's still being very weird.
Well, why don't we spin the Tatum for now? So JTC, he's got a Tatum. So let me just go get that tweet again. Share it in the chat because you got to retweet this to be eligible. So let me get that link again, and I'm going to put it in the chat. All right. So I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to click that link in the chat. That will make you eligible for the Jason Tatum spin. And then when Dream opens his pack, you'll be eligible for that as well when he gives away a moment. So give you guys a couple of minutes. Don't say his name, he'll disappear again. All right, so should we start calling you something else? Maybe we'll call you like Nardward?
Nard Dog.
The Nard Dog? Oh. All right, you see, he's still here.
Well, maybe one of those Harry Potter names of the ghost that float around Hogwarts. Again.
All right. I
Nearly
was
headless
never a Harry Potter guy. Oh, that's true. I never told you guys. Smash that like, subscribe, smash that like. Make sure your notifications are on, and you plug it onto your Apple Watch so when you're sleeping, it wakes you up. Get in the chat. Make sure you make that setting happen. Like and subscribe. This is a new channel, so I appreciate that. There you go, Jimbo. Smash that like. Jimbo's been hopping in and out. Buy high, sell low. I know that was my strategy up until now, Jimbo. That's not true. I'm holding bags. I didn't sell, but unrealized losses. All right, so go Grizz. Thanks for smashing that like and subscribing. RKO that sub button. Exactly. Wrestling fans. All right, so I think Matt's here. So why don't we have some fun with that? Let's just see if we can make that work, and then we'll do the Tatum. So I'm going to tweet right now on my account. It's live now. There's 4 minutes left. You're going to choose what Matt's going to buy. And I had that right here to show it to you guys, which is you're choosing between these moments. Show you right now. This is what you're choosing between. Come on now. All right. You're choosing between these moments. Should Matt buy
drum roll, please.
15K Luka Doncic, a 15K Zion Williamson, or a 24-61 playoff reward Kawhi Leonard? So the link is in my Twitter right now. I will put that in the chat as well. So I already gave you guys the retweet link. If that's the past one, and now this is the one now. Vote Luka, Zion, or Kawhi. You only have like 3 minutes left. All right.
Should we play them?
I mean, if you have them queued up, I don't have them queued up, unfortunately. And if I ask my producer, you know what his answer is going to be.
It's all good.
I know, but there, I'll do it for you. Luka drives and then he assists past some guy's back. Zion gets the ball. Yeah, and Zion gets the ball and he just yams it on somebody's head. And Kawhi, was that over? Who did
Derek
post it? I actually don't remember that.
Derek Favors.
Oh, Derek Favors. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that wasn't the one where they all yelled at what's his face. The first series, that one was amazing.
Oh, that one was what's his name? He was in Dallas.
Maxi Kleber.
Maxi Kleber, yes, I want that one too. But this one's better. This one's a poster.
Yeah, that was like assault. That was assault.
That was
Maxi Kleber could have gone.
He
to the
pushed
police
him
station
after.
that.
He went after him.
Well, now we're talking battery.
So figure. I'm trying to make this buy interesting too. Let's see if I get 3-digit. So maybe I'll go high. I'll go high on it.
All right. Well, there's 2 minutes left. Luka is edging out Zion by 10%. There's 20 votes. 2 minutes left. Zion has just taken the lead, ladies and gentlemen. There's only
my first Zion. I'm my first Zion, so I don't have one
yet.
yet.
Just had 5 votes, 20 votes. Now it says 5 votes. Okay, this thing's going crazy. All right. Well, I don't know if only 5 of you voted. I mean, you guys are talking in the chat. Go to this link now. We're not reading the chat. We're not reading the chat. You got to go to that link and vote. You are.
On my end, I see 20 votes.
Oh, you do see 20. All right. So I saw 5. So I might have to ask you. Oh, now I see 21. Yeah, Luka's up by 15%. There's 1 minute left. It's crunch time, people. Nobody loves Kawhi Leonard, by the way. A total of 0 people voted for Kawhi Leonard.
Okay, that's not accurate because I voted that one.
Really?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then this poll's okay. Now I see 11%. So I guess we got to give this poll seems to be on the same connection as Matt.
Yes, exactly. I
Seems
won't
to be having
click the
some
chat.
issues.
If I click the
Yeah.
chat, I'm gonna disappear. So I'm not touching it.
Yeah. Don't click anything, Matt. Just don't
Bye-bye,
touch your
Mr.
phone.
Tatum.
Don't even move. Just like keep your hands where we can see them. So yeah, I dream. You might have to tell me the results. I swear this thing is jumping.
I got 1 minute left on my end, so looks like right now I just refreshed. 30 votes with 1 minute left. Luka's got 50% of the vote. Kawhi did go up to 10%, so it got fixed. Zion at 40%. Got about 1 minute.
It's over.
Luka. All right.
Done
That'll be
deal.
my third Luka. My fourth Luka, actually.
You can never have too many Lukas.
Yeah, I have the 40, the 35K,
Right.
and 1 foot playoff one.
All right. So there's your answer, Matt.
All right. So right after I get off, I'll buy one, and I will show everyone.
Hold on. I gotta mute everyone for a second. I'm getting some crazy feedback. Okay. All right. Are we good now?
Can you hear me?
All right. Well, I think I'm on some weird delay. I'm getting a whole lot of echo. But Matt, you got your Luka, okay? So that's the moment you're gonna go buy that Luka.
Yes, 100%. One second.
All right, so I'm like gonna take my headphones out because I'm hearing myself. So for a minute, I'm just gonna have to go without hearing you guys. Let's do the Tatum spin. So everyone has retweeted there, so I'm gonna go there and do it now. So just give me a second here. I'm actually refreshing.
I said feed's clear on their end.
All right, that's cool. I'm the only one who's hearing echoes. You guys aren't?
Check and see if you have the stream running second, like on a different browser or something. That could be the issue.
Ah, you're right. Thank you, Dream. Thank you, Dream. Thanks.
No problem.
Dream. I was in the clutch there.
All
right, so let's get the Twitter giveaway going. Let me just set this up.
Tatum 60-pointer.
Yeah, so you could share your screen or something, JTC, to show it if you want, or I can just pull it up here on TopShot.
It might be a little
All right, let me pull it up real quick. Tatum 60-pointer. And there was actually a trivia question about this the other day, or yesterday. They asked, I think the TopShot account asked who he had that against. It was the Spurs.
Oh, yeah.
So here's that moment right here. So let's share it. All right, that's the moment that's being given away. Jason Tatum happens to be one of my favorite players. It's an awesome moment.
Great thumbnail.
And great thumbnail, great everything. It would be a wonderful thing to add. 1 second here, guys. I got the wrong link.
I will share a little insight about why I bought so many of these moments too.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, I can't say this was my own idea, but one of my good buddies that I think is really smart in this space is at I'm a Looksack on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
He had mentioned trying to forecast different types of quest, and he's crazy with the spreadsheets. And one of the ones he had spoken about was like a 50-point quest. Mm-hmm. So Tatum, Lillard, Kevin Porter Jr., there's a couple more as well I'm forgetting, but those are the ones that I have in my account.
Awesome. All right, well, we got about 40 something people on there, and we got about 23 in the room. So there's might be some people that get chosen and don't get their moment. Sorry, guys, you're supposed to join the room. So let's do it. This is for the Jason Tatum, and away we go.
Ooh.
Miz. Hold on here. His name is Miz?
I haven't seen a Miz around.
Hold on. I think it's, yeah, Miz. I don't know who Miz is. Miz? Are you in the chat, Miz? I got to go look over this thing here. Miz. Miz. There's a guy named Miz. Miz, you have an icon of Dwayne Wade, it looks like. Miz going once. Going.
It says Milo says here. I don't know if that's Miz.
Milo, is that you?
Milo, are you Miz?
Milo, are you Miz? Here, I'm Miz. Okay, Milo. That's what's always hard. It's like the name something completely different. How do we? Can you DM Miz? DM JTC or DM me with that Miz account on Twitter, please.
Yeah, DM us.
Okay. So as soon as you do that, Miz, this moment is yours. So without further ado, why don't we bring up the Dream Shaker? And Dream, you can share your screen now, and we can rip that pack. And this is not just any pack, guys. This pack, basically, when you enter the Nine Lives Lounge, they make sure you're wearing like the right clothing. Then they give you that pack, and then everyone just holding their packs. So, Dream, take it away. Share that screen, and let's see it.
All right, sounds good. I think I'm sharing right now, and you got it right there. So yeah, when you it's kind of incredible that they already snapshotted me and had sent these moments or my packs in. So this is before me registering for the actual thing and whatnot. And at first I was just gonna think about ripping open this base set, but I feel like Seeing Stars is something that maybe a lot of people aren't privy to right now. It's kind of an old pack, so I don't know. I'm almost wondering whether I should do that one instead, but maybe I'll do both. Let's see.
Okay, cool. And it looks like, by the way, just for a second, it looks like Coach Peterson wants to raffle a CP3 playoff. So that's very generous of you, Coach Peterson. I will have to figure out how to produce this all at once and get you on here and sharing your screen. Oh, no, actually, no, we don't have to do that. We'll just do the names. Cool. So sorry, Dream, take it away. And Jimbo, I'm going to go see if you're on this list right now. I'm going to search for your name.
So I think that's Coach P, actually from the NLL also, and I'm just going to go and give him a shout out because this morning, he, one of our collectors in the Nine Lives Lounge, loves to collect palindrome moments, and Coach P went out there and just bought him one. He was like, I saw it on Live Token. I know you like it, so here you go. And he was like, he felt weird getting one. He's like, why would you get me this? And it was a really good moment too. The player isn't coming off the top of my head. But he was just like, no, just keep it, have it. I know you like them, so you have it. And we do that for each other all the time. So even with the Quavo quest, I was missing 2 moments, and I just drop it in the buy-sell channel that we have, and somebody goes and supplies me with it. So shout outs to Coach P. It's people like this that are in this community that it's hard to highlight them all at once. But, I mean, just shout outs. That was this morning, and now he's giving back on this channel. I mean, really spreading that love from the NLL. So
cool, man. Yeah. Jimbo, I just added you to the wheel. You were not on the wheel. So, Milo, okay, yeah, all right. Milo, we'll take care of that in a second. But go ahead, Dream. Let's see this.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, I was thinking about recording this at first. That'll complicate the stream, so let me take that off. And yeah, wish me luck, everyone.
Yeah, let's go, Dream. Let's go, Dream. What are we hoping to see? Let's go.
And this is the one that I'll give a moment out here. I'll view one that I think is worthy for the community here. So, yeah, got this popping up right now. I'm keeping the sound off for right now. Do you want me to turn it on?
It's up to you. Chat, you want sound or no sound? I think chat's probably familiar with the music, but whatever you want to do. We can, you know what? Maybe I can even, no, I can't. I thought I could share my sound, but I can't. So go ahead, man. Let's see. Can you zoom in at all? Do you have one of those Macs where you can zoom in? Of course. Let's zoom in. Let's see it a little closer.
For sure. Let me go and zoom in right now. Actually, the recording thing I don't think is letting me record right now.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
There we go. We're good to go. All right, sweet. This recording thing keeps popping up, so let me just go and start it.
So
And
people
then
want the sound. We got people that want that sound.
People want the sound? All right.
Do it.
Let's whip up the sound.
Because I think you
Hold
have
on
to
a
do
second.
it when you share the screen. You have to do it like initially. Oh, I can hear it. All right, we can hear it, and it's not too loud, so perfect.
Cool. Sounds good. All right, let's
There
do
you
it.
go, Miguel Sagid. All right. Oh, it's a nice cereal. All right,
Lonzo Ball, let's go.
Nice cereal. Nice cereal. Nice moment.
Yeah, it's
Very
a 15K moment. So, or 50, yeah,
Very
15K.
nice.
So, I'm liking this one right now. So we'll see if the other two come out to be better. Then that'll go out to somebody else. But Lonzo and the Pelicans.
Ooh. Oh man.
Yeah, we'll see. See the next one.
Bull 3-pointer. Zach LaVine.
Zach LaVine, another 20. Yeah, these are all 15K moments. So this is actually a really good one for me to go out and give to somebody. So
super nice.
this LaVine's pretty nice. All right.
There we go. Got a Hawk
70. Damn, they're all pretty good cereals. This is going to be a tough one for me to want to go and give out.
Look, you don't have to give out these moments. If you have something else you want to give out, I think the people can understand.
Nah. Well, we're spreading the love here. If I get love from being an NLL member and I have all sorts of benefits, like we're giving one of these out. So I am going to choose for right now the Cam Reddish to give out because I think that he's a player who hasn't had the opportunity yet to really show his importance to both the Atlanta Hawks and the NBA. So we're going to go and give that one away. Awesome. So let me think about do we want to do the wheel spin for this? Is that how you want to do it?
Yeah, sure.
Sounds good. Then once we do that, then we're going to go.
All set up, unless any new retweets have come in the last few seconds. It looks like Dr. Jeremy just retweeted, so we'll get Dr. Jeremy on the wheel. Dr. Jeremy, and then Jimbo retweeted. And we're good. So let's get this going. Okay. And away we go. Let's get it bigger so people can sweat their names. So that is Rob. What's up with these like people who joined Twitter when there was 10 people on Twitter and they got 3-letter usernames?
That's Rob. Just their display name.
Yeah, you're right. So Rob, you have a picture of yourself and your son at what looks like a Senators hockey game. Are you in the chat?
Shot clock.
Rob. Here, should we give him? How long should we give him? I mean, if he's in the chat, I feel like he would
we'll wait for it.
Respond. Yeah, we'll give him a second. Rob, where are you? Put on some music. Rob, where are you? Rob, where are you, Rob? All right.
Yo, Tandy, you know what I'm gonna do in here too? I'm looking at the chat right now, and it seems like people really want that LaVine moment. That's the one we'll throw in here. Well, we can respin, and for those Chicago fans who are in here, I hope you get it. But we have some people in here who really like the LaVine moment, so we'll give that one out instead. I don't want to. I can always buy this one off the market and stuff. So yeah.
Wow, look at that! Look at that! Thank you, Dream. You are a dream come true. Giving out 2 moments from his 15K special 9 Live Lounge pack. That is amazing. All right. Well, I guess we are going to have to spin this one again. So this is still for the Cam Reddish. Is that right?
This one should be for the Cam Reddish, yeah, and then we'll do the next one for the LaVine one. Oh, and I also want to give a shout out too to Pac Rip, who was walking on the strip yesterday and said, for every NBA jersey I see, I'm going to give a moment out. And so I won that one too, and I got to call Anthony. So for me, it's always this in the community that I like to reward other people with. So, Basketball Joe, nice.
You know this guy?
Joe,
yeah.
All right,
Basketball Joe is one of the best hoop heads out there. I'm going to get him on the show at some point. We're still working out a scheduling, but huge Jazz fan and just knows everything. He's actually in Vegas right now, if I'm not mistaken, for Summer League.
Yeah, okay, he did our massive giveaway with us. He's a really good.
He's awesome.
He's doing trying to get his own podcast and stuff going too.
Cool.
He'll do it.
All right. Is that here? Who's JT Dalla? Joe. That must be Joe.
Oh, he may not be in here.
I mean, I'm guessing J is for Joe.
Either way, unless it's somebody else, unless it's not the Basketball Joe, but it should be Basketball Joe. If it is, he can just DM me on Twitter and I'll know
Oh,
that
yeah,
it's him.
that's him. He said earlier he's on a different YouTube account. He said earlier,
Gotcha.
This is Basketball Joe. That's what he said.
Yeah, so Basketball Joe just DM me and yeah, I'll send that moment out to you. That Cam Reddish, 15K.
All right, very good. I'm not bothering removing people off the wheel. If you get selected again, you don't win. All right. So now Zach Levine. Here we go.
Zach Levine, let's go Chicago. Hope you're all happy out there. We'll see. Hopefully a good season.
Piggy
here, Piggy.
There's so many pig names on Twitter and Discord, and I don't know what people's infatuation is with the pigs.
Well, he's got a piggy. He's got a pig avatar. So maybe that's why. And one of these NFT pigs, I think that got released recently. So where are you, Piggy? Are you in here? Here, Piggy. Let's get the music, I guess, while we wait. Actually, we have a second music we can listen to. Let's do that one.
Static Selector.
All right. Well, there we go. All right. Well, that was weird. Piggy, are you there? Is that you, Piggy? Is this Piggy?
I suppose so.
Philip Franklin, are you the mysterious Piggy?
Yo, we can do this, Tandy. If whoever is this person, then I can verify them like via DM. Like they just tell them send me your YouTube name, and I want to make sure this matches up with your Twitter name. I can just choose a Chicago fan in here from the chat and send one out to them, and I don't know. We can figure it out that way.
Just tell them
But if you want to spin, we can spin it again.
Yeah, why don't we spin it again? That's probably easier.
Well, tell Piggy to DM you, and then you'll see on his display name if he's Piggy.
Mm. Oh, actually, I got a DM from Piggy.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it's Philip Franklin. It is.
All right. All right, so then this one is for the Chris Paul playoff moment. This was given by, now I can't remember his name, too much going on at once, but let's spin it right now. Here we go, Chris Paul playoff moment. All right, there we go. Pluck Midge. All right. Well, I think that covers it, Pluck Midge. Or you know what? Actually, that was a little shisty, wasn't it? It was Sea Bear, and then it was Pluck Midge. So
I'll send Sea Bear a moment.
All right. So Sea Bear, you're gonna get a moment, Sea Bear.
Just DM.
Sorry about that.
DM the Sea Bear.
So Pluck Midge. I don't know who that is, but DM Coach P1421 on Twitter. All right. I think that just about does it. I mean, if there's any other questions for the chat, otherwise I'll let these people get back to their waiting people in their homes. Go ahead, JTC.
Is this guy here?
That's a good question. If he's not, we'll spin it again.
Yeah, let's make sure he's here real quick.
Yeah. Pluck, are you here? This is definitely the difficult part of giving away moments live when people aren't live.
Yeah, and the way Retro does it, it makes it a little easier, but it's such a pain. Is he'll like clean it up and put their actual name and their at name in there instead of their display name.
Right.
Oh, here we go.
What you getting?
Brandon Thoreau.
Oh, someone saying it's him?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. All right, well, that was the show, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, what can I say? This was a crazy week. Thank you to my guests, Dream, Matt, who's over here, JTC. Thank you guys. I hope that Yuri is just having the best sleep of his life. Maybe next time, Yuri. And just keep it going. I mean, I'm sure the next week is going to be even more crazy because that just seems to be the way it's going. There is no off season on Top Shot apparently. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to continue making videos for you guys, and I appreciate all your engagement with them. And that's about it for me. So signing off. This is Top Shot Tandy. We're going to do one little more dance, and then we're going to play our outro music. Until next time, guys.
Static selected.